There are souls who seem to move the world without uttering a word. They do not raise their voice. They do not chase recognition. They simply exist with such quiet gravity that everything around them begins to shift. Their stillness unsettles noise. Their calm unsettles chaos. They are not trying to control others. They have simply learned to master themselves. Every person is born twice, once into the body and once into the soul. The first is a fact of nature. The second is an act of awakening. Between these two births lies the great passage, the slow, patient discovery of one's inner self. We travel through storms of distraction and deserts of noise, chasing meaning in the world, until we finally realize it was within us all along. The modern world rushes outward. It teaches us to seek fulfillment in possession, power, and applause. But those who look outward dream. Those who look inward awaken. The true kingdom of man is not in the noise of ambition, but in the quiet of awareness. The world will tempt you to scatter yourself across its surface, to react, to compare, to chase. But the soul whispers, "Be still and know what you are." Life in its first half is a race toward the visible. We build, we prove, we acquire, believing the summit lies somewhere ahead. But the second half of life calls us to descend, not to fall, but to deepen. It calls us to turn inward, to reclaim the unseen roots that nourish what the world cannot. The purpose is not perfection, but wholeness. To be whole is to reconcile your opposites, the light and the shadow, the joy and the sorrow, the calm and the chaos. The shadow within you is not your enemy. It is the unacknowledged ally, holding the pieces of yourself you left behind. When you face it, you discover that darkness, too, was a form of light, misunderstood but waiting. The one who dares to meet his own shadow reclaims his strength. We spend much of life projecting our unlived truth onto others. We condemn what mirrors our own fear. We despise in others what we have not yet accepted in ourselves. But the day you choose to look inward with honesty instead of judgment, you begin to gather your scattered soul. You begin to return home. Wholeness is not a prize for the flawless. It is the reward for the honest. The wise man does not divide his nature. He learns to stand in harmony with it. His peace is not an escape from suffering, but an understanding of it. Out of pain grows clarity. Out of silence grows strength. In solitude, the mind ceases to perform, and the heart begins to remember. It remembers what you are beneath the layers of expectation. It remembers the rhythm of truth, the quiet pulse that no noise can drown. Do not fear this silence. In it you meet your own eternity. Dreams are the language of that eternity. They are letters from the soul, written in symbols and mystery. They remind us that what we call the unconscious is not beneath us, but beyond us. When you learn to listen to your dreams, you are listening to life itself, speaking in a language older than thought. There comes a time when the outer world no longer satisfies. The victories feel hollow, the praise feels thin, and the noise becomes unbearable. Do not call this despair. Call it initiation. It is the moment the soul reclaims its throne. It is not that the world loses meaning. It is that you begin to seek a deeper one, to be calm in a storm, to be unmoved when provoked, to be at peace when misunderstood. This is mastery. The man who no longer reacts becomes magnetic. His silence confuses the restless. His restraint disarms the manipulative. He does not need to chase validation. The world in time bends toward his stillness. Silence is not emptiness. It is the presence of clarity. It is the field where truth unfolds. When you stop reacting to life and start responding from awareness, you become the calm center of all motion. The power born of peace endures longer than the power born of pride. Each of us carries an inner flame that no storm can extinguish. It flickers quietly, waiting for our return. This is the self, the timeless witness within us. It does not demand. It observes. It does not rush. It knows. The wise learn to bow before this inner altar, to take counsel not from fear or desire, but from the steady voice of intuition. As you grow, you begin to act from stillness, not impulse. You learn that gentleness can be stronger than force, that patience can outlast power, that silence can reveal more than speech. You cease to seek control over the world and instead align yourself with its deeper current. The end of all searching is not victory, but surrender. Not submission to the world, but harmony with it. Heaven is not found in a distant realm, but in the moment you accept that nothing outside you completes you. It was never elsewhere. It has always been the meeting of your heart and the infinite. When you cease to chase applause and begin to honor presence, you rediscover your own divinity. You walk with quiet confidence, speak only when the words serve peace, and rest in the knowledge that you need not be understood to be true. This is the essence of wholeness, not the perfection of life, but participation in its rhythm. To live this way is to live poetically, to rise each morning as if existence itself was sacred, to look upon the world not as a battlefield, but as a mirror. So when you grow weary of noise, do not retreat in anger, retreat in reverence. Listen again for the music beneath motion, for the eternal note sounding through all things. And when you hear it, follow it. That music is your soul remembering itself. You were never meant to master the world. You were meant to master your awareness of it. The true power is not in dominance, but in depth. The wise man does not move faster than life. He moves in tune with it. Be still, and you will know. Be silent, and you will hear. Be whole, and you will shine. The journey never ends because the soul is infinite. Each breath, each joy, each sorrow is another step inward. And when at last you see clearly, you will realize you were never lost. The path was always within you. The universe was never outside of you. It was your own being whispering, "Welcome home."